Coming up on Business Report Africa, African miners as key players in New World. WPP Scan Group shares third record low after suspension of CEO. Egyptian Minister of Petroleum to support EMGF goals. Banks in Rwanda experience increased credit risk. Details on this and more after the break. This is Business Report Africa, brought to you by your digital First Pan-African News Network, TOS TV. I am Ruel Panawo. The African continent has rich resources which include lithium and cobalt, and as the world makes the major switch to electric vehicles and wind and solar power, African miners will have important roles to play in this new reality. When stressing their contribution to the green economy, mining economies can state their supply of materials to make electric vehicles, EVs, and batteries as a major one. Now, China, roped in by the subsidies on electric vehicles and fines imposed by the European Union on their fuel vehicle manufacturers, are keen on leaning towards EVs. According to a 2020 World Bank report, the production of graphite, lithium, and cobalt will need to be significantly ramped up by more than 450% by 2050 in order to meet demand from energy storage technologies. Founder and Chief Executive Officer of the WPP Scan Group, Mr. Bharat Thakrar, has been suspended from the company due to allegations of gross misconduct and possible offences in his capacity as a senior manager of the firm. The Nairobi Securities Exchange recorded that shares of WPP Scan Group fell to a new record low of 5.36 Kenyan shillings after this development. Mr. Thakrar, aged 69, was suspended with the CFO. He founded the company in 1982 and grew it into one of Africa's largest marketing communications firms. He will be replaced by interim Chief Operating Officer Alec Graham. At the board's latest meeting, they considered the use of proceeds from the sale, taking into consideration available distributable reserves and potential expansions as well. A warning from the board was given on Friday to shareholders to exercise with caution. In dollar terms, the company's share price is down by over 42%, with stocks being volatile on Friday and closing at 5.54 Kenyan shillings, which is less than 3.36% than the record low of 5.36 Kenyan shillings set on the same day. Tarek El-Mouz, Egyptian Minister of Petroleum, conducted negotiations with the Palestinian Presidential Advisor for Economic Affairs, Mohammed Mustafa, and Israeli Minister of Energy, Yuval Steniz, concerning support of the goals and efforts of the East Mediterranean Gas Forum, EMGF. The point of the visit was to align with a common vision and a systematic dialogue to develop a gas regional market after the EMGF Charter came into force to support the efforts of the member states. This was done with the aim of investing in their gas reserves and using their current and future infrastructures as well throughout productive and constructive cooperation between the forum's member states, which include Egypt, Israel, Cyprus, Palestine, Italy, Greece, and Jordan. According to the Ministry of Planning in Egypt, about 424 development projects have been completed in Asyut Governorate, with a total investment cost estimated at 17.5 million Egyptian pounds. With a total of 225 projects in the fiscal year 2019-2020 for 5.2 billion Egyptian pounds in 7 sectors, which are education, electricity, housing, health, petroleum, irrigation, and local development. Halal El Said, Minister of Planning and Economic Development, has said that the issuance of the report aims to educate citizens about the fruits and returns of development during the past period, in line with the efforts of the state to localize sustainable development goals in the governorates. Concerning the second goal of the SDGs, which include eliminate hunger, provide food security, and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture, 14 projects, which amount to 111.5 million Egyptian pounds, had been completed in the water resources and irrigation sector. 325 million Egyptian pounds had been spent on the third goal, which is centered around health, and 115 projects were implemented at the cost of 736.3 million Egyptian pounds were spent on the fourth SDG, centered on ensuring that quality education exists. In total, 10 more goals were accounted for. The central bank in Rwanda has said the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as measures put in place to curb it, have seen local finance institutions experience increased credit risk. It revealed that the last assessment of the financial sector showed the pandemic had weakened the capacity of borrowers to service their loans, and this has effectively raised risks of default. On Thursday, February 18, the central bank's Financial Stability Committee meeting, chaired by Governor John Rangwamba, noted that in the first 3 quarters of 2020, gross domestic product contracted by 4.1% year-on-year. At the end of the year, banks in Rwanda had restructured loans worth 799.9 billion Rwandan francs, representing 31.7% of total loans, while the microfinance sector restructured loans stood at 14.8 billion Rwandan francs, representing 7% of total loans. However, regardless of the stress on local banks, the financial sector remains adequately capitalized and liquid. More coming up on Business Report Africa. I will be back after this short break. Senegalese national Mactar Diop has been named by the World Bank as the new managing director of its private sector arm. This will take effect from the 1st of March 2021. Diop will become the first African to head the institution. As the former Minister of Economy and Finance in Senegal, Mr. Diop is serving currently as Vice President for Infrastructure at the World Bank, cradled with the responsibility of overseeing the activities of the bank across transport, energy, and digital development sectors. He has also worked as an economist in the International Monetary Fund. According to David Malpass, World Bank President, Mr. Diop will help to attract investment to fight gender inequality and climate changes. While in service at the World Bank, Diop has overseen the delivery of a record-breaking $70 billion in commitments. In the past week, Bitcoin, the world's most popular cryptocurrency, increased in price by 22.25%. According to data from the CoinMarketCap.com, the coin extended a 2-month rally that saw the currency's market capitalization cross $1 trillion. It is barely 2 months into the new year, and the price of Bitcoin has risen by over 92%. Now, according to expert analysts, the high-profile supports and endorsements triggered the sudden increase. Ethereum, being the second largest cryptocurrency, had a weekly gain of over 13%. Regardless of the negative economic changes that came about as a result of the pandemic, the Nigerian solid mineral sector had recorded positive numbers and pushed 7.69 billion naira in royalties into the federal coffers of the country. This is the highest in a 3-year period. Now, according to the director of the Mines Inspectorate of the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development in Abuja, Frank Odum, the progression from 2018 to 2020 has been even. It started from a modest posting of 1.88 billion naira in 2018, with the Southwest region recording the highest contributions, which accounted for 749.96 million naira of the royalty paid in the year under review. The Northwest State generated royalty at 125.44 million naira, and the total royalty generated in 2019 amounted to 2.56 billion naira. In 2020, nearly all the zones maintained a steady increase in royalty contributions, contributing a total of 3.25 billion naira to the federal government, which accounts for a 9.05% increase from 2019. Marks & Spencer boss Steve Rowe has called on the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rishi Sunak, to use the increase in corporation tax to overhaul business rates and rescue the high street. According to him, the effects of the pandemic would lead to thousands of job losses unless the unbearable yoke of business is slashed. Steve Rowe has urged the Chancellor to use the planned rise in corporate tax to pay for the business rates. As the pandemic has led to a high rate of shoppers moving online, this has heightened calls for sky-high taxes on commercial property rates to be overhauled. Over 200,000 jobs were lost last year, and 16,000 stores were forced to close. The Marks & Spencer boss has said the government needs to act on its forthcoming review on rates, and the fairest way to tax is based on profit. This call for permanent reform has been supported by credible shop chains who think that with the way retail and customer shopping patterns have changed, taxation is completely out of step. And to wrap this up, the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, have agreed to work together and conduct research with the aim of finding ways to regulate the cryptocurrency market. As a virtual lecture organized by the Association of Capital Market Academics of Nigeria, ACMAN, held in Abuja on Sunday, February 21st, the head of Department, Registration, Exchanges, Market Infrastructure and Innovation Department of the SEC, Timi Agama, noted that the cryptocurrency was a market amounting to about $2 trillion, and it could therefore not be ignored. He warned that neither the SEC nor the capital market would accommodate or encourage fraudulent practices, but there is a tendency that the investment moving into the cryptocurrency market would reduce the amount of investment in the stock market. According to Gbite Oduneye, Chief Executive Officer of the Eagle Global Market Lagos, the regulators must organize and look for ways to make people operate in the way they want in the market, as every new innovation comes with a number of difficulties. The presence of innovative minds, however, will enable the country to take advantage of this. Thank you for watching Business Report Africa. Do follow us on social media at TOS TV Network on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at TOS TV Network. I am Ruel Panao. I'll see you tomorrow.